Alright folks, here we are, another episode of me looking at movies that I didn't make and trying to work out how they're made with behind the scenes footage so we can become better filmmakers together. Okay, so I found this behind the scenes footage from this movie called Bones and All with old mate, this guy from June. I haven't watched this yet. This footage is from the trailer and some other clips that I found online. So it seems like it's this natural lighting, kind of smaller budget, 80s style love story film where they have to eat people to survive or something like that. They're shooting on Panavision 35mm, and I read that they're using the ultra speed and the super speed lenses. And I guess if you're shooting at nighttime, naturalistic movies, you don't have as much lighting, you would want faster lenses. So that's probably why they've got those lenses. Okay, so this first scene here, this girl comes around to her friend's house, it looks like, and she goes inside. There's this like dissolve cut, which is pretty cool. And then she decides to eat one of the fingers of her friends. So, looking at the lighting out the front here, we've got this, what looks like a key light from the right hand side coming in, which is maybe emulating this porch light, but you've got this black material over the camera, and then the camera operator is wearing a hoodie because I assume they didn't want to catch the camera reflection in the glass, so they've put black over that. And then also this black flag here is probably stopping that key light, lighting up this white camera magazine, and that would also show up in the glass as well. So that's just a solution to hide that a bit at nighttime so you don't see it in the reflection. Then when she comes to the door, you can see they have this little panel light above her head here, and that's giving this light on her face as she opens the door. So the wider shot of this scene looks like it's mainly lit with just practical lamps. Then when they go into these closer shots, there's a little bit more shape on it using this little panel here. So this one here is giving this light here on her. And then it looks like there's one at the back side as well, which is lighting her hair up. And you can see these green marks on the TV here. So they can just comp in whatever they want and not have to worry about the continuity later on. And it's not just that they haven't decided what it is, it's that you don't have to reset the video to where it was going to be every time because you don't know how it's going to go in the edit, what they're going to cut to. So it just makes it easier to do that. This shot here looks pretty simple. We've got this shot on him, and that's just sunlight hitting him directly in the face. Then when they do the reverse shot on her, they've just brought this white card in to illuminate her face. Also, his shirt is bouncing the light in her face a little bit too. The sun's coming in, hitting that, and then it's lighting her face. So if you didn't have that white card there, or he wasn't wearing a white shirt, her face would be quite dark. This scene here looks like it starts out with them sitting here having a chat. There's a few shots, then this other car arrives. There's this scene of them talking around the fire. Something else happens and they drive away, I think. I'm just piecing this together from the trailer, I don't really know. So as they're shooting these daytime shots here, you can see in the background there's this, what looks like a big crane, which I assume is for this night scene that's coming up. So this big pool of light is probably from a light that's on the end of that crane, illuminating this whole area. And that's just filmmaking and cinematography, knowing in pre-production planning that that crane is not going to be in the background of any of these shots, and it'll be ready by the time nighttime comes so they can do all these night scenes. So with this campfire, it looks like it's lit from this moonlight above. Then when they come into these close shots, you can see they've just got some tube lights sort of giving the fire effect on them, and that's probably it. A lot of projects that I shoot, like commercials, films, documentaries, require so many shots to build a narrative, and there's not always enough time for the production to go out there and get establishing shots of a forest or a city skyline or the planet. How are you going to do that? With Storyblocks, you can use their huge archive of royalty-free footage with unlimited downloads for exactly what you want to tie a scene together. Not only that, they offer a range of other creative tools like music, sound effects, and much more. So go and check out Storyblocks with the link in my description below. Here's another scene with them in the car shooting two cameras. This one's getting this shot, and this one is getting this. One thing to remember when you're shooting a scene like this using a key light on the actors as the sun's turning to night, almost after every take you're going to have to keep lowering the level of that light to match what's happening with the ambient natural light in the background. If not, that ambient light will go completely black when the sun sets, and it'll just look like there's a random light on them. This key light, I assume it's meant to be the last bit of the sun daylight coming into the car, lighting them. So in these scenarios, you're constantly having to lower the level of the key light that's hitting them, but then opening up the lens to keep the background exposed until you completely run out of light, and then it's nighttime. Here's another quick shot of her walking up to the camera. It tilts up, then it booms down as well to keep her in the shot. So some of you may not know, if you've never used one of these Fisher dollies before, that this guy at the back here, the dolly grip, I assume, he adjusts the up and down movement on the boom on the column of the camera with this little knob that he's got his hand on. He twists that and the camera goes up for one way, and you twist it and it goes down for the other way. And the faster you do it, the quicker it goes, or the sort of slower you do it, and you can fade it on. And then you've got the operator just doing the panning and tilting. So it's like a combined effort, really. And sometimes these dolly grips, they'll have a little monitor on the dolly so they can see when the right time is that they need to go with the movement. This shot here in the supermarket, it looks like they've just got a small top light above her. And the reason you can tell it's just a small panel light or something is that she's a lot brighter than this crew here. So this must just be a little pool of light on her, raising the level up. I guess because she's down low under these shelves and, there's not much light hitting her face. So that's probably what this boom arm here is. This menace arm has a light on the end of that. There's this other movie that I watched called Athena recently, and there's not much lighting I want to look at in this, but there's just so many crazy, really long takes, so I recommend just checking it out just for the visuals alone. I remember watching this scene at pretty close to the start of the movie, and it goes for such a long time without cutting. Maybe there's a few hidden cuts in there. It gets to this certain point where these guys steal this police truck, and the camera goes in and out the back of it a couple of times, and when I was watching, I was thinking, this actually looks like they did this for real. Maybe they're using a small camera like a Komodo or FX3 or something just to get it in and out of there. And then I came across this behind the scenes footage, and yeah, it's done for real, but they're using an Alexa LF with this Angino zoom lens, which is a pretty big camera package. And there's a few other scenes later on in this movie as well where they just have so many crazy different setups with extremely long camera takes and really amazing lighting. I'll link the video behind the scenes in the description of this video so you can check it out. There's no real lighting to break down or look at in any of this. I just thought that's pretty wild, and that's what you get with lots of money, which is not all of the shoots that I get to work on. All right, that's it. Until next time.